These images were sustained regularly, systematically, and with faith in the developing powers of the deeper mind, will come out of the darkness or subconscious mind into the light, objectified on the screen of space. There is one important rule. Do not expose this newly developed film to the shattering light of fear, doubt, despondency, and worry. Whenever worry or fear knocks at your door, immediately turn to the picture you developed in your mind and say to yourself, "A beautiful picture is being developed now in the dark house of my mind." Mentally pour on that picture your feeling of joy, faith, and understanding. You know you have operated a psychological spiritual law. For what is impressed shall be expressed. It is wonderful. The following is a sure, certain way for developing and manifesting all the material riches and supply you need all the days of your life. If you apply this formula sincerely and honestly, you shall be amply rewarded on the external plane. I will illustrate this by telling you of a man who came to see me in London in desperate financial straits. He was a member of the Church of England and had studied the working of the subconscious mind to some extent. I told him to say frequently during the day, "God is the source of my supply, and all my needs are met at every moment of time and point of space." Think also of all the animal life in this world, and in all the galaxies of space, which are now being taken care of by an infinite intelligence. Notice how nature is lavish, extravagant, and bountiful. Think of the fish of the sea, which are all being sustained, as well as the birds of the air. He began to realize that since he was born, he had been taken care of, fed by his mother, clothed by his father, and watched over by tender, loving parents. This man got a job and was paid in a wonderful way. He reasoned that it was illogical to assume that the principle of life, which gave him life and always took care of him, would suddenly cease to respond to him. He realized that he had cut off his own supply by resenting his employer, self-condemnation, criticism of himself, and by his own sense of unworthiness. He had psychologically severed the cord which joined him to the infinite source of all things, the indwelling spirit or life principle, called by some consciousness or awareness. Man is not fed like the birds. He must consciously commune with the indwelling power and presence, and receive guidance, strength, vitality, and all things necessary for the fulfillment of his needs. This is the formula which he used to change water into the wine of abundance and financial success. He realized God, or the spiritual power within him, was the cause of all. Furthermore, he realized that if he could sell himself the idea that wealth was his by divine right, he would manifest abundance of supply. The affirmation he used was, "God is the source of my supply. All my financial and other needs are met at every moment of time and point of space. There is always a divine surplus." This simple statement, repeated frequently, knowingly, and intelligently, conditioned his mind to a prosperity consciousness. All he had to do was sell himself of this positive idea. In the same way, a good salesman has to sell himself on the merits of his product. Such a person is convinced of the integrity of his company, the high quality of the product, the good service which it will give the customer, and the fact that the price is right, etc. I told him whenever negative thoughts came to his mind, which would happen, not to fight them, quarrel with them in any way, but simply go back to the spiritual mental formula and repeat it quietly and lovingly to himself. Negative thoughts came to him in avalanches at times in the form of a flood of negativity. Each time he met them with the positive, firm, loyal conviction, "God supplies all my needs. There is a divine surplus in my life." He said as he drove his car and went through his day's routine, that a host of sundry miscellaneous negative concepts crowded his mind from time to time, such as, "There is no hope, you are broke." Each time such negative thoughts came, he refused their mental admission by turning to the eternal source of wealth, health, and all things, which he knew to be his own spiritual awareness. Definitely and positively he claimed, "God is the source of my supply, and that supply is mine now." Or there is a divine solution, "God's wealth is my wealth," and other affirmative positive statements which charged his mind with hope, faith, expectancy, and ultimately a conviction in an ever-flowing foundation of riches, supplying all his needs copiously, joyously, and endlessly. The negative flood of thoughts came to him as often as 50 times in an hour. Each time he refused to open the door of his mind to these gangsters, assassins, and thieves, which he knew would only rob him of peace, wealth, success, and all good things. Instead, he opened the door of his mind to the idea of God's eternal life principle of supply flowing through him as wealth, health, energy, power, and all things necessary to lead a full and happy life here. As he continued to do this, the second day, not so many thieves knocked at his door. The third day, the flow of negative visitors was less. The fourth day, they came intermittently, hoping for admission, but receiving the same mental response: no entrance. I accept only thoughts and concepts which activate, heal, bless, and inspire my mind. He reconditioned his consciousness or mind to a wealth consciousness. The prince of this world cometh, and hath nothing in me. This conveys to your mind the negative thoughts such as fear, lack, worry, anxiety came, but they received no response from his mind. He was now immune, God intoxicated, and seized by a divine faith in an ever-expanding consciousness of abundance and financial supply. This man did not lose everything, neither did he go into bankruptcy. He was given extended credit, his business improved, new doors opened up, and he prospered. Remember always in the prayer process, you must be loyal to your ideal, purpose, and objective. Many people fail to realize wealth and financial success because they pray two ways. They affirm God is their supply and that they are divinely prospered, but a few minutes later, they deny they're good by saying, I can't pay this bill, I can't afford this, that, or the other things. Or they say to themselves, a jinx is following me, I can't ever make ends meet, I never have enough to go around. All such statements are highly destructive and neutralize your positive prayers. This is what is called praying two ways. You must be faithful to your plan or your goal. You must be true to your knowledge of the spiritual power. Cease making negative marriages, i.e. uniting with negative thoughts, fears, and worries. Prayer is like a captain directing the course of his ship. You must have a destination. You must know where you are going. The captain of the ship, knowing the laws of navigation, regulates his course accordingly. If the ship is turned from its course by storms or unruly waves, he calmly redirects it along its true course. You are the captain on the bridge, and you are giving the orders in the way of thoughts, feelings, opinions, beliefs, moods, and mental tones.